reason why I'm making this video is because I want to help you resolve Turbulence. The best way of doing that is giving it targeting protection, and the best way of doing that is with Sprite Elf. So I made a combo guide on how to get Sprite Elf out before you activate Turbulence. This is the bonfire combo. We start with bonfire, getting poplar, poplar summoning. Then we link off into link, get OSS, then link off into link Haribo, put poplar into spell trap zone. Then we OSS the poplar, summon hydrant, hydrant get lifter, lifter, then normal summon, then we get alert, then we get turbulence. Now we go into pit knight, then from pit knight we go into princess, then we revive pit knight, go into elf, then we summon turbulence into a elf zone, then we set 4 and pass. So here we have the Diabellstar+Fire Engine / Rescue combo. In this case, we're going to be using Fire Engine. Start by summoning Diabellstar, pitching anything, getting OSS, then getting OSS, then getting Hydrant, going into Fire Engine, searching out Airlifter, then you Airlifter for Alert, then you Alert for Turbulence. Go into Pit Knight, then go into Princess, then revive Pit Knight, then go into Elf, then you summon Turbulence to the Elf zone. And then here, if you use Rescue, you will only be able to set 3. But if you use Fire Engine like I did, you're going to be able to set 4. Because the 4 sets in the hand, technically. This is the Diabellstar+Alert combo. We start by searching Diabellstar, then we play Diabellstar, pitching anything. Then you OSS for Hydrant, then search for both Lifter and Turbulence with the Alert. Then you link off into Link Haribo, go into Preventer then goes into Pit Knight, then Preventer brings back Hydrant, goes into Princess brings back Pit Knight goes into Elf, then you summon Turbulence to a Elf zone, then you activate and set 4 and pass. I recommend Emergency, Rescue, Contain, and Extinguish. This is the Diabellstar+Poplar combo. We start by special summoning Diabellstar by pitching Poplar. Poplar then sends the Poplar zone. We then get OSS. OSS then sends Poplar for Hydrant. Hydrant then searches for Lifter. Lifter then gets Alert. Alert then gets Turbulence. Then we link off into Pit Knight. Then we link off Pit Knight into Princess, and then Princess revives Pit Knight. Pit Knight then goes into Elf. Then we summon Turbulence to the Elf zone to give it targeting protection. Then we set 4 and pass. So this combo, it starts with Lifter and any combination of Preventer, Alert, Emergency, or Turbulence. And I'll explain as the combo goes along. We start by searching Lifter with Reinforcement of the Army. We play Lifter. If you have Emergency in hand, you search for Alert. Okay? Because you'll be able to because if you have an Emergency in hand, you get Alert, so then when you summon summon Hydrant, you'll be able to double search for both Turbulence and Preventer. And if you have Alert in hand, you can just use Alert when you have Hydrant on field. Then use Hydrant to search for either Turbulence and or Preventer. Now we'll fast forward a little bit. You banish the Lifter, you make Pit Knight, use Preventer effect, bring back Airlifter, go into Princess, bring back Pit Knight, go into Elf, then you go into Turbulence pointing to the Elf zones. Then you set 4 and pass. So here we have the Hydrant plus Preventer combo. We start by normal summoning Hydrant. Search for Turbulence. If you have Turbulence in hand, then you search for Preventer. Then you go into Linkuriboh, summon Preventer, banishing the Hydrant. Go into Pit Knight. Well, it can be any level 2 fire Link, but Pit Knight's my preferred one. Then you resummon that. Go into Promethean. Resummon Pit Knight. Go into Elf. Then you summon Turbulence to an Elf zone to give it targeting protection, and then you go for the effect. Set Emergency, Extinguish, Contain, and Rescue. This is the Poplar plus Fire Attacker combo. We start by normal summoning Poplar. We then get OSS, link off into Linkuriboh. Then you set Poplar in the Poplar zone. OSS Poplar, go for Hydrant. Get Fire Attacker, go for Turbulence. Then you go into Pit Knight. Then you go into Promethean Princess. Then you go resummon Pit Knight. Go into Elf. Then summon Turbulence into the Elf zone. Set 4 in this case. Yep, and then pass. This is the Poplar plus Preventer combo. We start by normal summoning Poplar, getting OSS, then we link off into Linkuriboh. Do not use the effect of Poplar because we want to have Linkuriboh in the graveyard. So therefore, putting the Poplar in the spell trap zone would be a waste of space, which we might need for something like Imperm or Droplets or Super Poly. Then we go into Hydrant. Hydrant effect, search for either Turbulence or Preventer, depending on which one's in your hand. Then you sacrifice it off, tribute it off to Linkuriboh. And note, if they try to Imperm you there, you can actually response tribute Linkuriboh to protect your Hydrant. So it actually gives you more layers of protection. Then you summon out Preventer, banishing the Hydrant. Then you resummon Hydrant, go into Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess, bring back Pit Knight. Pit Knight, go into Elf. Then you summon Turbulence into a Elf zone, and then you set 4. Before I head off, here's a deck list that uses the Elf and combo. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to make sure your Turbulence resolves.